What up, YouTube? Scott with a theory of nothing coming to you. So I wanted to do a quick email this morning. I meant to do it yesterday, and I just got busy with work, being the holiday week coming up and stuff like that. So short on time there, but yeah, I wanted to do a quick video talking about a recent crazy Mandela experience that we just had over the weekend. So if any of you have ever had a synchronicity situation within the last few years, since probably going back to even maybe 2009, but definitely since 2012, which is when most of us are aware, and maybe through your entire life, but really specifically crazy synchronicity events within the last few years. So what happened was this weekend we decided to take out our Murano instead of our Jeep, and I had to go through, and I needed to run it through the car wash, and we were just going out and about for the day, doing some running around, some errands and stuff like that. So nothing major, but yeah, we decided we're going to go up to Scottsdale and go to lunch at a little taco shop that we like going to, and we had to wash the Jeep, or the Murano first. So we decided to go ahead and head over to the car wash, and we get there, and going through the car wash, I got in behind a Tesla in the car wash. Apparently, if you guys know anything about Teslas, they have a new auto brake, or maybe not new, but since the beginning, they have an auto brake feature. Like in case of an accident or something like that, the car automatically applies the brakes. Not you, the car automatically does it. So I didn't know this ahead of time, but anyways, the people at the car wash knew this, but they let the Tesla go through. Then they brought me in behind the Tesla, and I was 2 racks behind the Tesla. So we're going through the car wash, and like halfway through there, right when the spinners hit the windshield, so you can't really see anything, it felt like I hit the car. I felt like I hit the Tesla, and then it felt like I went up and over the top of the rear of the Tesla, like double impact. I mean, it was like brutal. Like my whole car shifted up in the air about almost a foot. And then the tracks went up underneath the wheels because I applied the brakes. As soon as we felt like we hit them, I applied my brakes. And then everything shut down. Like the whole car wash just stopped. And then all the guys come out there and they're looking around. They're looking at my car, looking at the Tesla, and they didn't see anything. So not supposed to get out in the car wash, but everything was stopped. So I got out in the car wash. And I started inspecting vehicles. And the guys started getting into an argument with me. Oh, you can't get out of your vehicle. Can't get out of your vehicle. And I was like, it felt like I just hit the car in front of me. So I'm getting out to look for damage. Because if my stuff is too damaged and her stuff's too damaged and bumpers are hooked together, this is going to take more intelligence than you guys have to get it resolved. So they're like, well, we have a video feed, we can see what happened. I was like, well, what happened was I hit her. They're like, well, it doesn't look like it. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking and I'm inspecting her vehicle, I'm inspecting my vehicle. Now her license plate, like one of the plastic clips that holds in the license plate, had come out, so her license plate was tilted down and then dangling off the one license plate. But other than that, she had 0 damage. Now, when I first looked at my car, of course, it's just doused in soap. So I had to run it through the car wash again, but I didn't see any damage on my car either. So it was really weird. And I had asked the woman in front of me, I said, did it feel like I hit you? Because to me, it felt like I pummeled your vehicle. She said, well, I don't know. I can't really tell. I'm like, how do you not tell if something hits you? She goes, I felt, the track went up underneath my wheels, and when it did that, my car went into auto brake mode. And I said, yeah, I know. Your car went into auto brake mode, and then I hit you because of that. That's surely what it felt like to me anyways. She said, well, yeah, I guess it kind of felt like that. But do you see any damage? I said, no, I don't see any damage. And they said, go ahead for both of us, pull out of the car wash, and then we can look at it, and they'll pull up the video. So she pulls out of the car wash, and the track is moving on the car wash, but they left all the stuff turned off, so it just pushed us out, and then they were waiting to start up people behind us. So she cleared the car wash, maybe 2 car lengths ahead of me at this point, because I let her go ahead, making sure I didn't hit her again. Then we pull out. When we pull out, and you come out of the car wash, and then you turn, it turns around 180 degrees. It goes to parking for all the dryers. So we pull out and turn around to go dry it, and I didn't see the woman that we just hit like anywhere, like pulled over to the side to look at her vehicle. There was a red Tesla, which I believe was her vehicle, and she was already out drying it off with a towel. Like literally, she pulled out in front of me less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds or so in front of me. Yet she'd been drying off her vehicle for what looked like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So I stopped behind that car and I was like, are you the one that was just in front of me in the car wash? And she's like, well, that was a few minutes ago, but yeah. And I was like, all right, like a time slip. So I'm looking at her car. I was like, did you get any damage? She goes, oh, my license plate was cockeyed, but, well, she didn't say it at that time. She just said, well, no, there's absolutely no damage on my vehicle whatsoever. And I was like, okay. So I'm looking at it and inspecting it, and I'm inspecting mine, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look like you have any damage. So I need to go through the car wash again and see what's going on. Mine didn't look damaged, so I was like, okay. So I go through the car wash again, pull back into the spot to park. Oh, when I went through the car wash again, my wife was telling me the plate was dislodged, which I didn't see that the very first time in the car wash even. Apparently my wife had seen it when the woman pulled in front of us, so I was like, well, I didn't even ask her about that because she was, there's no damage on the vehicles. It's crazy. So anyways, I pull over, I got out, and I asked the woman again if her plate was dislodged after I'd gone through the car wash because she was still drying off her vehicle, and she said, yeah, my plate is, but she pulls it out. She's like, it always does that. It just always pops out of there. I don't know why. So I was like, oh, okay. Maybe the car wash popped it out then. So then I get back over to my vehicle. I completely dry off my vehicle, and then I noticed my front bumper in the Murano, the side panels were like popped out, which in any of the vehicles where it's got the molded in bumper casing, if you impact the bumpers will pop out of the clips as a way to prevent damage to the body of the vehicle. So that way only the front bumper gets damaged. So both sides were popped out. I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I popped them back into position. The clips weren't damaged or anything else. So I went back over and inspected the front of the vehicle. And on the newer Muranos, there's the plastic bumper, and then there's or bumper cap, per se. Then there's a piece of plastic grill over the top of that. Well, then the grill and the bumper seemed like they were dislodged. So the bumper, the plastic bumper piece is solid over the bumper. So the bumper cap is attached. So the plastic piece just pulled out and popped into its clips. And I was like, well, shit, that was really, really, really weird. So obviously I hit her. But there was my bumper didn't go, my airbag didn't go off. And trust me, the impact felt like it was a full force impact. Now I know the bumper's supposed to dislodge after a certain speed, but I mean, it felt like I hit her at about 20 miles an hour. That's how hard the impact was. two times. First time I hit her, and then I applied my foot on the brake, and then the thing carried my vehicle up on the rollers and felt like I hit her again. Until that cleared, and then that's when everything shut off. But anyways, there was no scratches, there's no scrapes, there's no damage on her car, nothing. So I was just tripping out. And then the woman acted like it didn't feel like I even hit her. So I was like, okay, none of that makes any sense. But then again, it's an ME world, nothing makes sense anymore. So no damage, go through, finish drying off the vehicle, vacuum it out. Now this process, seeming like I hit her, cost me an extra probably half an hour at the car wash dealing with that whole situation. This is relevant. After we got done at the car wash, we drove over by the gas station, topped off my gas tank, which I wasn't going to do either because I was, I don't know, 3/4 of a tank or something like that. But I was like, all right, I'll just go ahead and top off the gas tank. Topped off the gas tank, and then we went ahead and headed up to Scottsdale. Now we got up the Scottsdale Road, going to the restaurant we were going to go to, and for just whatever reason, I got off on a road that was south of the exit I should have been at. I was supposed to get off at McDonald, and I ended up getting off at Chaparral. Now I always think to get off at Chaparral for this place because when I was first moved out to Arizona, in that part of Scottsdale, McDonald was always before Chaparral. It was always McDonald, then Chaparral. Now they're flip-flopped. I don't know when they did, but they've been that way for a while. But in my head, McDonald is first, Chaparral is second. So I always get off at Chaparral because I thought the restaurant was further north, and it was on Chaparral. So anyways, I get off at Chaparral, I head over there, and then right before you get to Scottsdale Road, and then we got to turn right to go north on Scottsdale Road to get to the restaurant. But right before you get to Scottsdale Road, there was an accident. There was ambulance, there was a fire truck, some squad cars, and there was 2 vehicles. And they're in the right lane. So going down Chaparral, it's 2 lanes heading east and 2 lanes heading west, and we're heading west. Well, all the traffic that's going west has to merge over to one of the 2 lanes. And the accident, we get up there, and there's a car sitting sideways, like parallel or perpendicular to the road, but in a driveway, and its rear end is all jacked up. Then the car that hit it was a white SUV Mercedes, similar in shape, not exact, but real similar in shape to my Nissan Murano. Now my Nissan Murano has got the pearl white paint. It's all pearl white with black, the black rims and black trim out and everything like that. So it's a blackout edition, but it's pearl white. And this Mercedes that hit that car in front of it was pearl white with the black trim. And that accident was probably within 15 to 20 minutes before I got there. So the ME to the story is I had to have an apparent accident at a car wash with realistically no damage, just a couple of clips popped out of position that I popped right back in. That caused me to go through the car wash a second time, that caused me to have all those delays, that basically delayed me an extra half an hour to getting to the restaurant for me to avoid getting in that accident. And a lot of people out there can say all the different things that they want to say about that, but that is a synchronicity event. Obviously, there was always meant to be an accident. Now, was the accident meant for that person, or was it just that the system, right, the simulation that we live in, there was always meant to be an accident at that location with a white SUV with black trim? I just happened to not be there at that moment. But I'm almost thinking that somehow, if whether the system's looking out for me, that it gave me the false accident with no damage, or to prevent the other one from happening, or whether that poor person in that Mercedes was really destined to have the accident, and therefore my accident occurred. I mean, it's kind of like a paradoxical type of event. But anyways, yeah. So tell me what you guys think. Tell me about your own synchronicity events like that, where I want the ones that are like an accident-ish or something minor negative happened to prevent something major from happening. In other words, like let's say you're walking and you tripped and dropped your coffee. So and nothing, there's like nothing on the ground, and you're not accident prone, but you tripped and dropped your coffee, so you had to go back and get another cup of coffee. And all of a sudden when you walk back out, someone gets hit by a car, or hopefully they didn't get hurt, but something like that major happens, or you end up going to work and all of a sudden there was an accident, like right in front of you at a light, or something crazy, like some major catastrophic life-altering potentially event to you that could have happened that seems like it was avoided by coincidence, which would make it a synchronicity event. So anyway, so tell me about your experiences. I want to hear about them. Also, like, subscribe, share my videos, spread the word on my channel, get it out there. Let's get some new subs going on. Let's all start getting together. Email me. Email link is in the description. It's also on on the YouTube channel. It's a.theory.of.nothing at gmail.com. Let's get some dialects going on and have some conversations. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.